All right, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the channel. My name is Carson. My brother Jackson and I have built up a seven-figure per year land flipping business, and over the past 3 years, we've successfully done over 700 land deals for over $4.5 million in profit. And we're starting to get on here and show you guys and teach a bunch of people about this business model because we're actually building a lot of deals and buying a lot of deals from students that we've taught and people that have learned to get into this industry from us. So it's beneficial for us if you guys can go ahead and learn this information as well. So in this video and in this and on this YouTube channel, I'm going to be breaking down a bunch of the softwares that we use, how to close deals, how to actually start your land flipping business. I'm going to be dropping a lot of that information on here. So go ahead, like, subscribe to the channel. It's brand new here. This is going to be my first video, and I'm going to be posting a lot more frequently on here and trying to teach you guys as much as I can. So without further ado, in this video, I'm going to be teaching you about PropStream.com, one of the most essential websites into all those deals that we've closed. Over $4.5 million in profit, about $6 million in revenue, all started from this website, PropStream. This software pulls lists, you can skip trace on it, it has all the data, and you can filter it down, which is so important, how you filter and dial down your list to be getting toward a motivated seller. So when you're reaching out to these sellers wanting to flip their land without buying it, you need to find the right person to reach out to, right? You want to find the person that paid cheap for the property, that's owned it for a while, or got it passed down, that's just sick of paying the taxes, doesn't want to deal with it anymore, and you help them out for selling the land, and then you can get paid out as the middleman for doing so. So again, we've done this 748 times, flipping other people's properties, helping them sell it directly by pulling lists just like this on PropStream.com. So without further ado, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can go ahead and pull a list yourself, and let's get into it. So what we're doing here, what the process of flipping land, the way we do it is, we find infill buildable parcels, little 10,000 square foot lots that we can sell to a home builder. So these big home builders like D.R. Horton, JHS Builders, Synergy Homes, these big builders throughout the country are buying thousands and thousands of lots. And people like us will find these lots for them and make anywhere from $5,000 to $100,000 in between as an assignment fee for finding these deals. But the first and one of the most important parts is obviously pulling a list of the people that you're actually going to reach out to, right? So let's say you have a builder that, I'll give you an example here. Let's say I have a builder right now in Port Charlotte, Florida, that tells me that he will pay $25,000 for any property in that area, which is a decent price. In some of the areas in Port Charlotte, you can sell this for $25,000. Here's exactly what I would do. I would go ahead and jump into PropStream, this software right here, to pull the list, and I'm going to show you the exact filters that I would use for it. So this is the website here, PropStream.com. And also, if you do want to go ahead and get signed up for PropStream, we have a 30-day free trial link with them. It's 7FF30 is the code, 7FF30. I'll drop it below this video with the link, but if you go ahead and type that code into PropStream when you're signing up, you will get 30 days as a free trial, and then you can go ahead, use the platform out, see if it's something you want to move forward with, and then go ahead and use it. So that's our code if you guys want 30 days free, but if not, here's how you walk through the entire platform, and here's how I'd go about pulling a targeted land lead list for people that I could reach out to, offering to buy their properties, and then flip it to the home builder without putting my own money up. So guys, this is a huge part into the whole process. We're doing this without putting our own money into the deal. We're just flipping the contract to the home builder, and then we get paid out as the middleman. So let's go ahead and let's pull a list. Let's go to Port Charlotte. Like I was saying, it's an area over in Florida, and I know that there's tons and tons of builders over in that area. So what we do is we search up here, Port Charlotte, Florida. Now, this looks like a mess, right? There's stuff all over the place. There's all these different properties. There's houses in here. There's multifamily properties. There's all these different things. But again, what do we want to look for? We're selling to a home builder that's going to build on it. We want to look for vacant land, right? How do we get there? Up here, there's a filter button. Click this filter section. Scroll right here. They already have a perfect little button for you here, vacant land. So now we just went from 97,809 properties in Port Charlotte down to 49,800. So we cut it in half already. But we can take it even further than that and get even more granular. So if we scroll down, let's say the minimum lot is 5,000 square feet and the maximum lot is 1 acre because we want it to be an infill, buildable, residential parcel. Excuse me, I did 50. It should be 5,000. So that dialed it down to 43,000 properties. What we want to do is we want to get this list down to about 2,500 properties, and I will get it there. So let's keep it going. Next, we want to make sure it's not on the market. this is a very, very important step here. When people are trying to flip land without putting their own money up, a lot of them reach out to realtors and reach out to people that have it on the market. But the thing about on-market properties is these properties that are listed, every builder, every investor, every buyer has already seen the property, right? It's sitting there on the market. It's listed. It has hundreds of views. It has 1,000 views. People have already seen this property. It's picked over. They don't want it. If they wanted it, they would have bought it and made an offer, right? We want to make sure it's not on market. It's super important to making deals like this. And then we continue scrolling down, and we want to make sure that it is an individual or a mixed owner. So what this does is it cuts out corporations, and it cuts out basically savvy investors or builders, because those are the people we're selling to. We want to be buying from an individual or a mixed owner that got it passed down or paid extremely cheap for these properties, or has just owned it for 30, 40, 50 years, that has no intention for the property, doesn't even know they own it. Again, paid a couple $100 for it. Now it's worth 25 grand. We offer them 20, sell it to the builder for 25. We make 5 grand. They made $19,000 on their investment. Everybody's happy. That's what we're trying to do here. So individual, mixed, years of ownership. This is another big one. Again, you want to make sure that they've owned it for a long time, because if they just bought the property, they either have intentions to build on it, or they probably didn't pay cheap for it, right? Because now they're paying top dollar. So let's go ahead and make sure that they've owned it for at least 20 years and see what happens. So that dials us down to 6,600 properties. And now there's 2 more steps here. So I'm curious if you guys know what these are, but it's these two guys right here. Last sale price and number of properties owned. So first, let's go last sale price. I told you that we're going to sell it to a builder for $25,000, right? So let's make sure anybody that we're reaching out to that owns these properties paid less than $15,000. So that would mean when I come in and I offer them 20, or if I offer them 16.5, they're happy with the deal because they paid less. They can still make money on it, right? And then we can flip it for anywhere from, depending on the builder, let's say $22,000, $23,000, $24,000, $25,000. We can make $5,000 to $10,000 in between because they all paid less than $15,000. So that's a big one there. And the number of properties owned, again, to make sure that they're not a savvy investor or that they don't have intentions to build on the property, they're just sitting there paying taxes on it, make sure they own less than 3 properties. So this would mean they only own 1, 2, or 3 properties, including their house, because this does linked properties and connected properties as well. So that's going to get us a perfect list. And we can look at all these applied filters and go through it one more time. But this got us down to 1,199 properties. And you can scroll through here and see that these are all vacant land. There's no houses in here. So that dialed everything out, which is why PropStream is so great. Is we just went from 100,000 properties down to 1,199 properties in just a few minutes. And this is a perfect list to go ahead and text out. Like, I'm not even kidding you. A list like this has made my brother and I hundreds of thousands of dollars just hitting it over and over again and flipping lots that are in a list like this. This list could run for 18 months straight. It's pretty crazy. So again, let's break down the filters one more time, because every list is pretty similar when you break it down like this. So vacant land, 5,000 to 43,000 square feet, not on the market, owned for 20 or more years. Last sale price was 15,000 or fewer. They own less than 3 properties, and the owner is individual or a mixed owner. That's everything, and that dials it down to 1,199 properties. Then we click this button, click on Actions, and click Save. And this is going to add the list into PropStream underneath my properties, to which then you can either skip trace it, meaning get the phone numbers for the properties, because that's step 2. You're going to get the phone numbers under this section in skip tracing, which you can do directly on PropStream, or you can go to a different website to skip trace. That's up to you. But this is just showing you how to pull the list, step 1, before anything else, right? So we save the list. It's going to go into my properties. Then we can export it and do whatever the heck we want with it afterwards. But that is the filters that we use for a list, and that's how we go about pulling a list. And like I said, it's so important to pull the correct list, because all your deals are going to come from the data that you're pulling. So you can be sending 200,000 messages a month and making 200,000 cold calls a month, but making 0 deals because you don't have these filters on, and you're calling the wrong leads. You're calling the wrong list. You're calling people that paid $75,000 for a property that's worth 20. No wonder they're not going to sell it for 15, right? Because they don't want to take a $50,000 hit. Reach out to the people that paid a couple $100 or got it passed down in the family 20, 30, 40 years ago based on the filters that you pulled. Those are the people that are going to be more willing to sell, right? So that's why it's so important to pull an exact list, and why I can't harp on this enough, guys, is go watch this a few times when you're pulling a list. And it's so, so important. This is the first step into everything. And all the students that we've taught to close their first deal or start making 10, 20, 30, $40,000 a month flipping land have started in PropStream pulling lists. So it's so important to dial this down. And for anybody that is interested in getting a little bit more hands-on with our coaching, we do have students that we're teaching that are absolutely crushing it right now. We're partnering on deals with a bunch of those students and doing JV joint venture deals and making a bunch of money together and buying a bunch of deals from them. So if you're interested in that, you can look at the link in the description down below and book a call to apply for our mentorship. But if not, enjoy the video, guys, and I appreciate it.